Hello, this video is going to be about my natural birthing experience. I had a water birth in January of this year, and if you are also someone who is pregnant or wants to be pregnant or whatever and is interested in natural births, then I'm going to talk a little bit about my pregnancy and experience and share some tips that really helped me have the birth experience that I wanted. So a little bit of background on my pregnancy. I was leaving in towards the start of last year to go on a round the world trip with my partner. We'd been planning it for ages. We were so excited. We were thinking we'd probably go for like minimum of a year. We were open to going for however long. We were just open to any experience. But 2 weeks into the trip I became pregnant, and about 6 weeks later I found out I was pregnant. I was at the Grand Canyon in the States the day after my 25th birthday. I found out I was pregnant, and yeah, things changed. So, well, I was like on this crazy emotional roller coaster. I was just so shocked. I just didn't even know what to think. It was pretty unexpected, so it took me a long time to really accept, and I didn't know anything about pregnancy, so I was like, can I keep traveling? Like, do I have to go home immediately and go straight to the doctors? Like, what do I do? Sort of thing. But after the initial like overwhelming period of finding out, well, that period lasted a long time. After I sort of settled down a little bit, I decided that I'd continue to travel, and I traveled for 7 months of my pregnancy all around the world. And I came home to Australia when I was 30 weeks pregnant. So yeah, my pregnancy was pretty different to the standard pregnancy. I didn't know anything about labor, but I knew instantly that I would want to have a natural birth, but I was terrified. I had no idea what the hell to expect. I didn't know anything about the process of birthing a human. I was just, yeah, had no idea. So when I was 6 months pregnant, I was in Colombia on the Caribbean coast, and I had a month there just relaxing with Chris, my partner, and I purchased an online hypnobirthing course that a friend had recommended me, and I began to really learn about the birthing process, about the role of different sorts of hormones like oxytocin and the role that those hormones play in the birthing experience. And I started to feel really empowered and really excited about going into labor, and I started to learn about interventions and the role of different sorts of drugs on the body, how they impact like my baby and myself. So I got really clear on what I wanted. I wanted a natural birth, and I wanted a water birth. So when I was 30 weeks pregnant, I came home to Australia from Bali again. I'd been there for a month doing yoga and just relaxing and really focusing and getting like preparing myself for my labor. And I came home to Australia, and I hadn't seen any medical professionals. I mean, I hadn't seen any midwives or doctors or anything in Australia. I'd had a scan done in Peru, in Cusco, and I had a scan done in Cartagena in Colombia, and I'd seen a doctor in America. And I'd been in contact with one of my friends who was a midwife throughout my pregnancy. So when I finally got home, I was 31 weeks when we'd finally settled into a place somewhere to live, and I went and saw a private midwife, and she explained to me all of my options, and my partner and I decided on hiring a private midwife but still having our baby in the hospital in a birthing suite, and that way we were sure we would be able to have a water birth, and it was an affordable choice for us, whereas having a home birth at that stage through the midwifery clinic wasn't really an option for us financially, but ideally it would have been our first preference. If we have another child, we will definitely have a home birth. But anyway, I want to get into my labor. I labored at home for about 13 hours all through the night, and I spent a lot of that time using different techniques that I feel were the only way I was able to get through labor naturally, and I wanted to share those with you today. So my number one tip leading up to labor would be to practice breathing. And I know that sounds a little bit silly, because I mean, we subconsciously breathe all day, every day. That's how we're alive. But I'm talking about like consciously breathing, becoming aware of your breath and relaxing your mind and body. I spent a lot of time doing yoga during my pregnancy, but I also spent time each day just breathing and being with my baby and feeling my breath and calming myself and becoming in tune with my body. So I cannot recommend this enough. There's so many resources online about hypnobirthing techniques. There's YouTube videos. There's all sorts of things. You can go to your local yoga class, breathwork classes, because it was honestly the most important thing for me to do. And I think it comes very naturally to women, a lot of women, when they go into labor, because our bodies are designed to give birth, and we know how to give birth. Our bodies know how to give birth, and so does our baby, but we can get so caught up in the fear that we forget to breathe. So practice breathing, practice consciously breathing. At different stages of my labor, my breathing changed to respond to what my body needed at that time, but the breath was definitely the savior. My second tip would be to make your support person, whether it be your partner or your husband or your mother, your best friend, make them your voice. Be clear with them prior to going into labor of what you want. Talk about the experience you want to have. Make sure you're educated about different interventions and different options. Go into it with a clear vision of what you want, but plans change all of the time. So make sure you're prepared and educated on potential decisions you'll have to make, and make those decisions to your birth support before you are in a position where you have to make a question and you're in labor and it is the last thing you want to do. So be clear with your partner or whoever it is on what you want. My third tip would be to use affirmations. I used these in the months leading up to my labor, and throughout my labor they sort of just kept popping into my head because I'd repeated them for so long. On my bathroom mirror, I used post-it notes, and I put them up on my bathroom mirror, and every single day, every time I brushed my teeth, every time I was in front of that mirror, I would say those affirmations. Things just like, my baby and body, I trust my baby and body, and they know exactly what needs to do. I surrender to this experience. I choose to be calm. I am strong and empowered. Things like that, whatever resonates with you, you can just Google them. Honestly, there's so many on like Google Images or on Pinterest or whatever, and just use ones that resonate with you and just start repeating them every day. They're so empowering. They improve your confidence, and you can just, recommend it. Anyway, another tip would be to obviously educate yourself, but with this tip, don't go crazy. Like, do not get on Google just googling all sorts of things. Find some really good resources. I'm going to put some that really helped me in the description box below. There's a book in particular, actually the only book I really read, which is called Gentle Birthing, Gentle Parenting. I love that book and I cannot recommend it enough. So educate yourself on all sorts of options. Learn about what your body's capable of, what your baby's capable of, the role of different hormones. It's honestly just incredible. It's a miracle, the whole thing. And when you understand what your body is capable of doing, it's just amazing, and you just become so empowered. The last tip I'll share with you today is to Surround yourself with positivity. Do not sit there and listen to people tell you horror stories of their own labors. Like, no, it's just so not necessary, and it'll only scare you more. Surround yourself with positive birthing stories, and if the people around you don't have positive birthing stories, just block it out. Get online, Google positive birthing stories, because there are women out there having incredible labors, incredible births, and you can have that as well. You just, yeah, cut the crap with all of the negativity and the fear-based stories. There's so much in the media, there's so many movies portraying birth as the most crazy, horrific experience ever, and yeah, it is crazy, and it is going to be intense, and it is going to be a whole lot of things, but it's also amazing. It's the best experience of my entire life. It has completely changed me, and I am so grateful for experiencing it. So practice your breathing, let your partner or birth support be your voice, use affirmations, educate yourself, and surround yourself with positivity are probably my main tips I wanted to share today. There's a heap of others, but those ones really stood out for me. I also just want to make it really clear that I am all for women doing what they need to do. And I have a friend who recently had an emergency cesarean, and it saved her child's life and potentially her life. And so I'm not anti-intervention when it is necessary, because I think it's absolutely incredible that it's saving, like, interventions are saving lives, and I couldn't be more grateful that those are options for some women. But I think that a lot of women go into birth and make decisions purely based on fear, terror of going through the experience, because they're just so unaware and uneducated and just fueled with fear from other people about the entire experience. And I think that's really sad, because we are women and we are designed to give birth. This is why our bodies are as they are, and it's an amazing, beautiful experience. And I really want more women to be able to experience birth and be there naturally and have a natural experience. So yeah, I will wrap the video up there. If you have any questions about my birth, or any questions about hypnobirthing or anything, just leave a comment below, and I will try to help out as best I can. And I'm going to leave some resources and book options and stuff like that in the description box below. So anyway, thank you for watching.